Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Money Hub. In today's video, we're going to be going through 7 famous people who lost insane amounts of money. Now guys, real quick, before we do get into this countdown, I want to let you guys know that we will be picking one lucky subscriber every month to win a shout out at the start of a video. All you must do to enter is subscribe to our channel, like the video, and comment down below saying I subscribed. Good luck guys. Now without any further ado, let's get straight into this countdown. Number 7. MC Hammer. At the peak of his stardom in the early 1990s, Mick Hammer was making over $30 million a year. With mega hits like Too Legit to Quit and You Can't Touch This, Mick Hammer brought hip-hop to mainstream and had the first rap album to sell over 10 million records. Most people knew that he quickly blew his huge fortune within a number of years, and though a lot of it was on luxuries, such as a private jet, 2 helicopters, and a $30 million mansion, a large portion of it was because he was too nice to say no. In order to try and give back to his friends, family, and community, he employed over 200 people and paid a total of $500,000 a month to them for services anywhere from gardening to just being part of his crew. The staggering spending couldn't and wouldn't last long, as within 6 years of You Can't Touch This being released, he was $13 million in debt and was forced to declare bankruptcy. After selling his mansion and other ill-advised purchases for far less than what he had paid for them, he was able to get back to zero. Recently, he has been working as a preacher and as a business consultant for technology corporations. Number 6. Brendan Fraser. A man once commonly associated with blockbuster Hollywood movies, now elicits thoughts like whatever happened to that guy. Stepping onto the scene with his role as an unfrozen caveman in 1992's Encino Man, Fraser went on to star big box office movies like The Mummy and countless roles in every sort of genre, from children's comedies to dark dramas. However, due to a sudden drop in castability, a messy divorce, the subsequent custody battles, and child support payments, he is now hemorrhaging money to the tune of $84,000 a month. In 2013, Fraser went on to court again to see if he could have his alimony payments reduced, stating that he is broke. His ex-wife refutes his claim, saying that he still makes over $200,000 a month, but that is before the $287,000 he has to pay monthly in property taxes, legal fees, and other expenses. His net worth is currently listed at $25 million, and though that may seem like a lot, it pales in comparison to the $100 million he made over the last 2 decades. Unless his career pulls up from its dramatic nosedive, he will be completely broke in the near future. Number 5. Mike Tyson. The life and career of Mike Tyson is mercurial to say the least. He was the youngest heavyweight champion of all time and one of the most successful boxers in the 80s and 90s, but decision-making inside and outside of the boxing ring was never his strong suit. Even before his boxing career had started, he had been arrested over 30 times. In and out of trouble during the late 90s and early 2000s, he was forced to retire from boxing, in effect losing all of his income. Throughout his 2-decade-long career, Tyson made almost $500 million, but due to numerous expensive court cases and ridiculous spending habits, he found himself over $35 million in debt by 2004. Some of the things that Mike Tyson blew his money on were $410,000 on a birthday party, $2 million on a bathtub, and $3.4 million on jewelry and clothing. You might know about his pet tigers from the movie The Hangover, but you might not realize the ridiculous cost of taking care of these exotic pets. He paid $140,000 just to buy them, and then $8,100 a year on their food and care, not to mention the $125,000 a year he paid on their trainer. He has since worked his way out of debt due to his movie cameos and television appearances, but his wealth is only a shadow of what it once was. Number 4. Marvin Gaye. One of the greatest soul and R&B singers of all time, Marvin Gaye was famous for his hits like Let's Get It On and What's Going On. His turbulent lifestyle and mismanagement of finances led to bankruptcy and his life being cut short at the age of 44. At the peak of his career in the 1970s, Gaye was earning $10,000 a night, which with inflation is almost $50,000 today. He also signed the biggest record deal given to black artists at the time of $1 million with Motown Records in 1971. But 2 divorces, one of which cost him over $500,000 in alimony, and his costly substance abuse problems led him to filing for bankruptcy in 1976. 2 years later, he ran into trouble with the IRS, owing them $4.5 million in back taxes. He then fled to England to avoid going to jail. After years of touring only in Europe, Gaye sobered up and reached a settlement with the IRS, enabling him to return to the United States in the early 80s. Upon his return, he started mounting a comeback, winning 2 Grammys for his song Sexual Healing and the album Midnight Love. Sadly, this success actually led him back into the substance abuse and financial hardship. He was considered close to broke when, after intervening in a fight between his father and mother, his father shot him, ending his life. Number 3. Action star Wesley Snipes is probably best known for his appearances in Demolition Man and the Blade trilogy, but his problems with the IRS led to him being in prison for almost 3 years at Pennsylvania Correctional Facility. In the 90s, Snipes became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood and made well over $100 million. But due to his falsifying of tax information and just plain not filing his taxes, he rose to the top of the IRS's most wanted list. In 2006, he reportedly owed the IRS over $10 million back in taxes, so he filed for bankruptcy. When he still couldn't pay, he extended his stay in Namibia, Africa, where he was filming a movie. Snipes debated on whether or not to come back, but inevitably decided to return and face the charges. He was arrested along with his financial advisor, Douglas Russell. He was arrested with his financial advisors, Douglas Russell and Eddie Kahn. They were all convicted, though Kahn was the one primarily at fault, receiving a 10-year sentence. Snipes did his time and was released a few months early, but still maintains that he was a victim of conspiracy. He believes that he did not know about the tax fraud and that his advisors were trying to steal from him. Keeping the facts a secret, Snipes also believes that the prosecution conspired against him because he was a celebrity, and that guilty verdict would help to bring awareness to tax crime. Though he will probably never again regain the fame or income he once had, he was back in action after his release, making movies and building up his wealth. His net worth as of back in 2017 was $10 million. Number 2. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is a Hollywood superstar whose career has ranged from big-budget action flicks and critically acclaimed dramatic roles to bizarre career choices and major flops. He won an Oscar for the film Leaving Las Vegas and was nominated for adaptation, yet he has appeared in such notoriously terrible films like Ghost Rider and The Wicker Man. Cage is considered one of the highest-paid actors of all time, making over $150 million in the 15-year span from 1996 to 2011. Cage somehow found a way to blow most of that money, and in 2009, the IRS forced him to pay over $6 million in back taxes. As of back in 2017, his net worth was only $25 million, which is extremely shocking, considering he made $40 million in 2009 alone. Cage is known as one of the biggest overspenders in the history of Hollywood. Some of his purchases have been absolutely outrageous. 2 islands in the Bahamas, 4 yachts, one of which cost $20 million alone, and an allegedly haunted house in New Orleans. A pet shark, a crocodile, 17 homes including 2 castles in Europe, and a collection of over 50 cars including 9 Rolls Royces. And that's only naming a few of the extreme purchases. Because of his tax issues, Cage was forced to sell many of his homes and his prized possessions like the first issue of the comic Superman. Number 1. Dennis Rodman. The Hall of Fame basketball player Dennis Rodman, nicknamed The Whom, is considered one of the best defensive forwards of all time. In his 14 years in the NBA, he won 2 championships with the Detroit Pistons and 3 with the Chicago Bulls. Throughout his career, he was known for having a physical playing style, being hot-headed on the court, and his extremely bizarre attention-seeking behavior off the court. From his successful sports career and his part-time role in the WWE, Rodman made well over $25 million. But as of 2017, his net worth is a shocking negative $1 million. So what happened? Rodman has been in a constant battle with his demons of overspending, drug addiction, and alcoholism. Because of his years of erratic behavior and image of being reckless, he has been all but unhireable, except by reality TV and the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, who might not even be paying him anymore. His close relationship with Kim Jong-un may have only further damaged his reputation, making it difficult for him to ever get out of debt. Well, there you have it, guys. That was 7 famous people who lost insane amounts of money. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.